Hi, I'm Mike.
And I'm Steve.
And this is night 6 of reading The Adventures of the Bailey School Kids. Knights Don't Teach Piano by Debbie Dady and Marcia Thornton Jones.
One of the bigger stereotypes around that we need to kind of address. But
that knights could teach piano.
I think we need to move beyond that.
It's an egregious cultural stereotype, and Steve and I won't stand for it. Anyhow, where we left off, Eddie and Howie went to take piano lessons. Eddie heard a strange noise, so started roaming around this stranger's house, convinced that this strange noise was somehow out to get him. He then went out to a barn where two men dressed as a horse were snorting cocaine. He then knocked a bunch of spears and swords off of the barn walls, and he got his ass out of there.
Sticking his nose where he shouldn't.
Right. So, without any further ado, here we go. Chapter 6, the most famous knight of all. That's K-N-I-G-H-T, Steve. That's what you'd call a play on words.
Oh, man.
I'm telling you, Lance is planning a war on Bailey City, Eddie told his friends. It was after the boys' piano lesson and the kids were gathered under the oak tree. Liza shook her head. Just because you hate taking piano lessons doesn't mean you should talk badly about your teacher, she told Eddie. I don't hate the lessons, Eddie explained. As a matter of fact, they were kind of fun, but that has nothing to do with the fact that Lance is planning to take over our town.
He's admitting it now.
Howie put his hand on Eddie's shoulder. I think that horse manure caused you to get a little lightheaded. Yeah, I'm sure it was the horse manure.
I saw a horse in a barn.
And not
that means attack.
Not the ridiculous. See, he's paranoid because he was breathing in the secondhand marijuana fumes. He was, you know,
dust everywhere.
Cocaine floating through the air, particles drifting through the sunbeams of the early afternoon
into his airways. Beautiful.
Melody giggled. Why would a piano teacher declare war on Bailey City?
Yeah.
You're forgetting that Lance isn't an ordinary piano teacher, Eddie exclaimed. Explained. He's a knight in shining armor. He's probably the leader of a whole group of knights. That's why he has those suits of armor. He and his friends are plotting to overthrow the mayor. That is an awful lot of information that he concluded based on breaking in to a medieval enthusiast's barn.
So I'm gonna become mayor and thus rule the land. Because the mayor
Bailey
has
City.
absolute power.
It's true. When you're 9 years old, I guess, when you're 9 years old and stoned out of your mind, I suppose that's the way that the world looks like it works.
The mayor, yeah.
Liza rolled her eyes. I think you flipped out, she told Eddie. You're wacko. You won't think I'm nuts when Lance turns you into a court jester, Eddie said.
Ooh.
Oh boy. Everybody better watch out. Mr. Lance Elot is a perfectly nice man, Liza said, pointing her finger at Eddie. You owe him an apology for saying mean things about him. What did you say? Eddie asked.
That's like me going to you and be like, Mario, Mike, I'm sorry I called you completely stupid, idiotic, dumb. It's like, you did? When? When did you call me these things? Oh, behind your back, but I'm sorry. It's like...
Yeah.
Thanks.
Hey, Debbie Dady and Marcia Thornton Jones. Hi. I didn't want to interrupt your autograph signing, but we just wanted to apologize for making fun of your books. What? Oh yeah, we got a YouTube thing where we just kind of sit there and we joke about.
Jeez, ladies, I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry. We think you're wonderful writers, by the way, and we are celebrating your works. We hope that everybody goes out and buys their own copy of Knights Don't Teach Piano or any number of the other Adventures of the Bailey School Kids book. This is number 29. There's at least 28 other ones, although I'm sure there were plenty to come afterwards.
Read them by yourself, read them with your friends, read them with your kids.
She's wacko. Go make an apology for saying mean things about him. What did you say? Eddie asked. Liza put her hands on her hips. I said you should tell Lance you're sorry. Yeah, that is fucking weird. That is super weird to go and apologize to somebody for saying shit behind their back that they would not find out. It's not like Lance overheard it, like, you know,
I heard what you said about
Eddie
me.
called you you know, an asshole. It's
That
like,
hurts my
whoa,
feelings.
that hurts.
I'm sorry.
No, he has absolutely, you're right, that is friggin' weird. No, Eddie said, smacking himself in the forehead.
No! No! Whoa! Calm down,
Eddie! No! Why didn't I catch it before? Oh, he's onto something, you see.
Uh-huh.
If you're ever...
Duh.
Catch what, Melody giggled? The measles. Yes, the measles, Melody. No, Eddie said. Don't you get it? We're gonna stop for a sec, because normally in these types of kids' books, like, it's really easy to see where things are going. I have no idea what conclusion he has come up with.
I don't either.
So, hold on, let's look at the context clues. You owe him an apology for saying mean things about him. What did you say? So that's the first indicator.
So that's like...
Say that again! You know,
It's like, you should tell him you're sorry. That's it!
You owe him an apology for saying mean things about him. That's... What did you say? No, why didn't I catch it before? I don't know. Okay, Eddie stared at the blank faces of his three friends and our blank faces, because we have no fucking idea where you're going with this, Eddie. Oh my gosh.
Okay, I'm ready, I think.
Are you sure? Because this is a big one. This is a doozy. Eddie stared at the blank faces of his three friends. Lance's name, Eddie said. It's Lance E. Lott. That stands for the most famous knight of all. You mean, Howie said? That's right, Eddie interrupted. Lance is really Lancelot, and he's here to make Bailey City his new kingdom. First of all, Lancelot was not the ruler of Camelot. King Arthur was the ruler of Camelot, and Lancelot was merely a member of the Round Table.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
That's like being Judas! He's here to run
everything!
It's... Eddie. Eddie. Alright, ready? Chapter 7. We're doing two tonight. Eddie's plan, because we need to... What he's gonna do with this new piece of information.
We can't wait.
Howie, Melody, and Liza stared at Eddie for a full minute. It was completely quiet. What? Lance E. Lott! Oh my god! It was completely quiet except for the cold wind rattling the empty branches over their heads. But Lancelot was a knight of the Round Table, Howie finally said. Eddie nodded. Now you're getting it. The only thing we're getting, Melody said, is mad at you for being so silly. But I saw the Round Table, Eddie yelled, complete with armor, ready and waiting for the next meeting of knights. And I saw Hercules dancing with your grandmother, Melody said with a laugh. No, she didn't, because Hercules doesn't pull teeth. That's one of them, right?
That's
I'm
one.
trying to look on the shelf behind us. I think it's behind you.
They'll find it. Keep going.
So anyway, yeah, Hercules doesn't pull teeth or dance with your grandma. Melody said with a laugh. Eddie thumped Melody on the arm. The only difference between your Hercules and my knight is that Lancelot is real. Well, Howie said, he was real, but that was hundreds of years ago, Liza added, when Lancelot was a knight in King Arthur's Camelot. Okay, it's been established.
Yeah, we get it.
King Arthur. So King Arthur doesn't teach piano, might have made a little bit more sense. When Lancelot... Today, this is today in Bailey City, not Camelot, Melody said with her hands on her hips. Astute observation, Melody. Besides, Liza said with a giggle, I'm pretty sure knights don't play chopsticks in Camelot. And they definitely don't teach piano in Bailey City, added Melody. Howie smiled. Liza and Melody are right. Knights had sword fights and rode big horses.
That's all they did.
Giant horses, Eddie said slowly. Just like the one that tried to eat me when I was in Lance's barn.
Their legs are, what were the telephone poles?
Telephone pole size. That is a big fucking horse. It was eating the sugar in your pocket, Melody reminded him. You'd be too sour for him to eat. Very funny, Lemonhead, Eddie snapped. But you won't be laughing when Lance and his knightly friends thunder into Bailey City. Melody and Howie smiled, but Liza laughed out loud. Even if Lance were the famous knight, Liza told Eddie, it would be so bad. After all, Lancelot and the rest of King Arthur's knights did good deeds. Oh, it wouldn't be so bad. It would be really
this is a good
bad.
thing. This is a good thing.
Yeah, Lancelot did do good deeds, Howie said slowly, until he decided to rule Camelot himself. Oh, maybe there is a portion of the King Arthur story that I don't know. Exactly, Eddie said. He fought King Arthur for Camelot, but he lost. Well, then you got nothing to worry about.
So he traveled,
built
a time machine, traveled through time into our little city, and wants to become mayor.
So that he could battle the mayor.
Oh my god.
Portly man with a tie and a mustache. He's like, well, I will see your battle. Yeah, that's a good one I did. Exactly, Eddie said he fought King Arthur for Camelot and lost. See, Melody said you're admitting that Lancelot is dead. Whoa. Howie grabbed Melody's arm.
Didn't say that.
A normal knight would have died, Howie told Melody, but you're forgetting one thing. Camelot had a wizard. The wizard had special magic that kept King Arthur alive. I'm pretty sure there's another one about a wizard, too. And he could keep Lancelot alive, too, Eddie said, as if he'd just solved 50 math problems.
2 plus 2.
4! Take that, Melody! Lancelot couldn't get Camelot, so he's after something else. What? Lies asked. Eddie looked each of his friends in the eyes before answering. Lance is after Bailey City, he finally said, and it's up to us to stop him. What a delusional little...
The war begins. I think this is real. The war begins.
I'm convinced. Thanks, Eddie. All right, well, that's all we got time for tonight, Steve.
All right, Mike.
So chapter 8 tomorrow. Good night.
Good night.